guys, James here again, and today we're going to be doing something again. Now this is the third time I've tried filming this review, and the wind has killed the footage each time. So I've come out tonight absolutely baking down on us with the sun, hence the shades. A choice between me squinting and wearing these, so we're going to have to put up with these today, unfortunately. And we're going to look at the new side shot scope cam. Now these have been around for a little while. I've been testing the magazines for the Impact as well. Some of you may have seen that. The interest there has been incredible. So we're going to bring you where they all started really, which was with the adapter. Now I've reviewed other versions of scope cams, that kind of stuff before. You would have seen Eagle Vision quite extensively on the channel. Never before have I checked out side shot. Now the reason I picked this up, and I picked it up back at the British Shooting Show, so that's how long I've been trialing it for. And I picked it up from the guys at Braces. And the reason I picked this one up, to be honest, was I wanted a nice simple solution that I could just slide onto any of my guns, that I could use my mobile phone with, and this kind of ticked all of the boxes really. Now it's not cheap, they're about £200 here in the UK, but with that you get this setup here, which is the adapter, and then you get one of the rings as well that goes on the scope. Now depending on what version you're using, you get a 1-inch version, the 30mm version, which is what I've got here, and then for all of you madmen that are using 34mm scopes, there's a 34mm version as well. So those are the variances, that'll be your drop downs, and then this stays the same. Now there is also, as I've seen, a GoPro version, which I will try and get hold of. It's just, again, a little bit more expense. But again, you just got to change the lens, I believe, on that one, because obviously it's a wide angle. So you need to just put a sensible lens on there, and then you can use your GoPro on your rifle as well, which I really like the idea of. But anyway, the version we're going to be looking at today is the scope cam. Now setting this up, really simple. Now all I did was I took these 3 screws off the front. I then placed my phone camera so that the camera was looking through this little circle here, and then I lined it up that way. And then that way you're not looking through this setup here. It's just really simple. Now all you need to do, and I say all, it is very simple in this case, and you know, a lot of the time you try something yourself and it turns out to be a pain. This really was simple, you know, even I could do it. You loosen off these little grubs on the back, they're only finger tight. You line it up, adjust this section here, again just releasing this off, and then you put the bar across once it's all in the right place, tighten it all up, and you're good to go. So I've already done it. You can see here I've got my my iPhone, and you simply slide it in like that, put the lever across, and it's good to go. Now if you're using other phones, I'm sure if you've got one of these Huawei phones, or however it's pronounced, you can just use the generic camera. Now the thing with the iPhones is the focus tends to struggle a little bit. Obviously you want it focused on the crosshairs, not behind. If you've watched any of my previous footage, I'll try and dig some out here. The quality of the actual film footage is really good, but you can't see the crosshairs. And I appreciate a lot of the time when you're doing hunting footage, you want to see that. So I've downloaded an extra app. I'll try and put a screenshot on, and it's called Filmic Pro. Now it's not cheap, not by a long shot, but you can manually adjust the focus. So if you point at a clear surface, if we point it up to the sky, you can adjust the focus on there to that and then lock it. So then everything going forward is done off the scope, not the camera, and the two aren't trying to fight against each other. So the quality of the footage you then get is really good. Now Filmic Pro, again, nice and simple to use. I managed it. It's available on the App Store, so if you are running an Android or iPhone or anything, I imagine you should be able to get that. So what we'll do is we'll just quickly show you how to load the system on, and then obviously just get it all set up, and then we'll swap to shooting segment, show you a bit of footage going through. The target is set out at 70 yards, give an idea of clarity, and then we've done a couple at 35 as well, just so you can see the extra range and the quality that you'll be getting from the phone and from this really simple little system. So anyway, we'll show you how to mount this on, and we'll crack on. Now, as I say, really simple to mount this one up. You get your adapter, so obviously you decide whether you want the 1-inch, the 30mm or the 34mm, and you've got two 2.5mm Allen keys just on the back here. Now you have to undo those, so just be careful you don't drop them, obviously if you're doing this in the field. And then once you put it on, what I tend to do is just keep it finger tight so that you can then adjust this the correct way. So you take your mount, as I say, really simple with this one. Slide it through, and then tighten these two up here, and that's it done. Now, one thing I will say, something that caught me out, is if you imagine when you're looking through the scope, I've mentioned cants before, and sometimes when you're setting these types of systems up, you look through the crosshairs and they're on the slight angle. Now that's because they've not been set up correctly. Now what I failed to remember is obviously if it's canted over, I was trying to then tilt it forward, thinking that I got the axis confused. Now if for instance you long your camera up and it looks like it's on the cant, simply rotate this left or right and that will alleviate that cant, because you're working on a 90-degree plane, which is something I kind of got a little bit confused with. So that's that system on, and as I say, you simply slide your phone in, put the gate across, and then you are good to go. Now the continuity experts out there may notice a slight change in my outfit. The footage was filmed a little bit before, obviously we just redone certain sections for wind and bits and pieces. So the following footage is of this setup in use. Now we are using an iPhone 8 with a Vortex diamond backed and the side shot adapter. So anyway, here's the footage, see how clear it is, and we'll come in for final thoughts and conclusions in 2 seconds. Okay, so that's my kind of take on the side shot adapter. Now it does have its advantages over certain other versions we say from other companies, and it also does have its detractors. Now one thing that I would say is obviously you're spending £200 on an ocular system. It does have a refractor in here. Now one concern I have is that the side shot system doesn't come with any way of containing your adapter when it's not in use. Now the Eagle Vision, for example, comes in a really nice carry case. When I chuck it in my rucksack, I know that no matter how sloshed around in the back of the vehicle it gets, it's not going to get damaged, it's not going to get scratched. And that's one thing I would take away from this, is if you're going to get it, buy yourself a soft case or like a GoPro case and just cut the inside out and put it in. But it would have been nice to have come with that. Now, for ease of use, this thing is just so simple. You can have one of these adapters on each one of your rifles. If you've got multiple air guns, you've got centre fire, rim fire, whatever, you can then set it up and then literally get your adapter, click it on, you know it's all level, lined, and your phone is good to go. The footage being saved directly to the phone rather than a camera means that I can upload it straight to Facebook, to Instagram, to wherever I want to put it, or put it on iMovie on my phone and edit it all from my phone. I'm not having to go home, load the computer up, put it in a third-party software and go from there. Obviously you can if you want to, but it's just nice to have that sort of ease there. Now, as I say, setting up really nice and simple. Unlike other versions around, there's a lot less dials to be moving around, and then once you've set it up, it's done. And I do like how secure it is. I can walk around with this on the farm. There's no rattles, there's no wobbles. It's just set up, it's good to go. Now, if you're not using a newer phone, or if you've got battery concerns, obviously you will just want to be a little bit conscious that if you're filming a day's shoot, you will need a battery pack or to plug it in, which I think is where the GoPro adapter will come in, because obviously the GoPros last a little bit longer and that will be a lot easier. Now, as it stands in the UK, the only place that I know that are bringing these in are Braces of Bristol. Let's say I picked this up from the shooting show back in February, it was, from them when they were up there. So if you want to get this or extra adapters or the GoPro mount, check out their website. I'll put a link in the description for you. Obviously this isn't paid, sponsored, anything like this. It's just purely my thoughts on this setup here. And one thing I will add, this was bought completely out of my own money because I wanted it, not because somebody's given it to me and told me to review it. So as I say, it's completely my take. I love the footage, I love how easy it is. Yes, they are expensive, but yeah, well worth a look. So as I say, guys, any questions, any comments, chuck them below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. You will see more from this setup, obviously, when I'm doing my trick shots and stuff. Now that I've got a really nice, easy way of just clipping and filming, we will be doing a lot more with scope cam. So we will see a lot more of this coming up. So anyway, as I say, questions, comments below. If you want to see more from us, feel free to subscribe, and we will see you during the next video. Thanks for watching.